If you or your spouse are facing starting your Social Security, you got some decisions to make. And what this talk today is about the timing of starting your Social Security check. Now, you can do that between the ages of 62 and 70. And you can start at any single month between those ages. And there's actually 96 different dates that the Social Security check can be started. So what I want to go over here is what would be some reasons that you would want to take it at 62 or 63, other than just the fact that you can get it. And we're going to start with is if you need the money, if you need the income, if you've lost your job or you've spent your retirement savings and you just flat need the income, then that's going to kind of override everything. But my advice is go ahead and take it. A second reason you may want to start early is if you have dependent children that are in middle school or high school or grade school, and you're going to be entitled to an additional Social Security check or an additional amount. It's a substantial additional amount for the whole time until they finish high school. So this doesn't mean run out and do it, but that's a consideration. And we've had many clients that are in that situation, and they've gotten a pretty substantial check for a number of years. A next reason would be is if you're in poor health and you perhaps have a lower life expectancy. If you're 62, 63 years old and you don't see yourself living past 72 or 75 or 76, it might make financial sense to start the check early because cumulatively you're going to get more money from the Social Security system that way. And then another reason is if you're absolutely convinced that the Social Security system is going broke or it's not going to be there for you later on. I mean, I'm not going to be really going to talk you out of that. I may challenge that a little bit when you're coming in to see me, but if you're really convinced of that, it's my job as a financial planner to advise you. And if that's the case, we have clients that started early just because they think of this. Now, another option that a lot of folks default to when they really hadn't had all this learning is they're just going to take it at full retirement age. And that is, for now, it used to be 65. It's now somewhere after age 66 for the people that it's in front of them, and it could be as late as age 67. So next we're going to look at what would be some reasons that you would want to delay it, and perhaps delay it all the way to 70. Okay? I mean, there's an opportunity cost there, because that means you're not going to get a check until 70. And you can, all those cumulative checks that you would have gotten, it's going to take a little while to make those up. So why would you want to do this? You're going to get a much larger check, and that much larger check is for the rest of your life. I mean, in my personal plan, this is where I am. Okay. The second reason would be if you're looking beyond, even if you're in poor health or you don't have a perceived long life expectancy, perhaps your spouse is going to live beyond you. And if yours is a larger check, by waiting and having a larger check, then when you pass away, you and your spouse could collect this check, this larger check, for maybe as long as 20 years. Big factor to consider. It's almost like life insurance. And then the extra point is there's tax ramifications of Social Security. Based on your other income, you're going to be paying tax on your Social Security. So if you're able to delay till 70, you don't have to pay tax on money you're not receiving. And then we can do planning and get that taken care of so that your Social Security check after 70 could possibly be tax-free. Now, what are you supposed to do with all this information? I mean, the first place to start, I would suggest, is going to SSA.gov. It's the Social Security Administration. And they have a button on there, My Social Security, and you open up an account, you get a username and password, and you're able to download the Social Security earnings history, and they have projections of you starting it at all these different ages. And that really gives us the numbers if you come to us for financial planning to help you with these decisions, that gives us the numbers that we can plug into the computer to give you advice on this. Or if you do it yourself, this is the place you want to start. So my name is Hans Scheil. I've written a couple of books on these subjects. You can get them on Amazon. We're in all 50 states in the District of Columbia, and I thank you for listening.